So today we're going to be doing a soft glam tutorial, and as the name implies, you're going to be very glammed up. This is a very full coverage look, but it's still going to look somewhat natural, although the application is not natural by any means. This is going to be based on a makeup tutorial I did with a professional wedding makeup artist actually 5 years ago, all the way back in 2019. So some of the products that I might be using are not the exact same as I used back then. I might not have remembered or written it down. Whether or not I think this lesson was worth it, I think it was very much worth it, because you don't have to go through all the trouble and effort of going back into different stores and trying out foundations, concealers, trying to figure out your undertone, and just overall going through that awkward high school phase of trying to figure out what works for you. If you're like me and you didn't do makeup in high school, that's exactly what would happen. I think it pays itself over multiple times, because over the years you can just kind of do your own makeup for events, weddings, graduation photos. And so yeah, let's get right into it. So first we're going to start with the Nars Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation in Stromboli. We're just going to take 1 dot of that for the whole face. And I like to take a damp beauty blender. This is from e.l.f. And this is after I've already put on sunscreen. And then she taught me to always go all the way up to the hairline, and then you want to drag it down to your neck. Okay, next we're going to use the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light Medium. And so we're going to do the under eyes. I like to angle up here. This is not something that she taught me, but I've seen them in a lot of TikTok videos, and it's supposed to lift your eyes up. And then we're going to make a tree shape here. And you want to get darkness around the corners of your mouth, the redness around your nose. Okay. And then we're just going to blend all of that out. Okay, and next I'm going to set the under eyes with the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter in the shade Butter. And I'm just going to let that sit while I do my brows. But you want to go in with a really light hand and go carefully. She told me to go darker on the ends and lighter on the front. And you do want to kind of elongate it in the front and at the ends a little bit. And it's all just about filling in the eyebrows. So I think I can go back in and just brush away the rest of the powder that I was using to set the under eye. And so now I'm going to move on to eyeshadow. I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam palette. When she originally taught me how to use this, she used the, I believe it was the Morphe 25D Oh Boy eyeshadow palette. And I just upgraded to this one, and I found that it was a lot more pigmented than that one. So I'm going to go in with Orange Soda. So it's going to go from light to darker brown neutral shades. And we're going to start on the outer corner in the creases of the eye. Next I'm going to go in with the shade, let's do Burnt Orange. And this you're going to place just right under that and do the same thing. And lastly, I'm going to go in with Cypress Umber. Okay, and the next thing we're going to do is go back in with those exact same 3 colors in the same order, and we're going to do under the eye. So I'm going back in with Orange Soda, and I'm starting from the outer part of the bottom of my eye and just sweeping that inwards. And now I'm going back in with Burnt Orange, and I'm still doing the same thing, but I'm not sweeping it in as far as I did with the Burnt Orange, and just trying to keep it close to my inner eye. And lastly, Cypress Umber again, and just really keeping it close to the inner eye. Okay, and next we'll go in with the shimmers. We can go in with Fairy. It's like a really shiny, glittery gold. The shimmers in here are also really bright, and I'll just apply this with my fingers to the inner corner. The next step that I personally like to do, that again she didn't teach me, was I like to go in with the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in the shade Milk. And that's how I like to go in with the shimmer on the inner eye corners, and also lining on the inner eye going out to where we drew that shadow, because I'm not really sure how other people do it, but I feel when I put the shimmer in there myself, I can't really see it. So I think adding that layer of white underneath it really makes it pop. And it might look really harsh now, but we're going to go in and cover that up with the color. And just drawing that up about halfway. And again, going back in and covering that up with Fairy. Next, we're going to start on contour. And so this is the part where I'm not really clear on whether she used powder or stick contour, because I didn't take that great notes. But here I have written down it was Black Opal in the shade Sweet Espresso. And I'm going to go in and contour my cheekbones and around my face. And the way that I was taught for my particular face shape was, first, when you contour on the sides, you don't want to go too low because it will make your face sag. And we're going to try to go for a 3 shape going around the eyes and all around. And she also said to not forget to contour the neck. And we're also actually going to go in and contour the nose. So again, I'm going to try to keep this as straight as possible. And we're just going to draw a line straight up from where we originally, in between where we originally drew the Shape Tape concealer. And we're also going to do underneath the nose. Okay, and once you feel that's blended enough, we're going to go in with the blush. And so the blush I have here is Kylie Jenner's Pressed Blush Powder Baddie on the Block. And here I just have the Real Techniques brush, the blush brush. And actually for the brushes that I'll be using, it's just a random set from Sephora brand that I got. I didn't exactly get the name of the particular brush set that she was using or anything. And for this one, we're just doing a diagonal sweep. Okay, and next we'll go in with highlight. And so from the Sephora brush kit that I have, I'm taking the fan brush. And so again, in the original tutorial that she gave me, she used the Makeup Revolution Ultra Blush Palette Golden Sugar 2 Rose Gold. But for the sake of not having to pack the whole palette, I'm actually using the Becca Champagne Pop, a classic highlighter. And so again, I'm just going back in and going over diagonally over the parts I just did. And we will also go in and highlight the center of the nose, underneath the brow bone. Okay, and once you're satisfied with your entire base, we're going to go in and set that again with the Fenty powder. And I'm just taking a big brush here And next I'll go in with the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. And this step I like to do because I feel like it blends together all of the layers. And then to set everything, I have the Milani Make It Last Original Setting Spray. This is also a lot more compact than the full size. Normally I use the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. And again, this will just lock everything in place. Okay, now we can move on to the rest of the eyes. So first I'm going to start with just the Sephora brand Retractable Waterproof Eyeliner in the shade Matte Black, which is 01. And we're going to tightline the eyes. Okay, now for the winged eyeliner. Here I have the NYX Epic Ink Liner, again in a black shade, 01. And so we're going to start with, what we're going to try to do is draw a line pointing towards the end of where we drew that eyebrow tail. And then we're just going to draw a triangle straight in. And if you do end up having some kind of mishap here, there's nothing that a little bit of makeup remover and a Q-tip won't be able to fix. Well, next we'll go in with the mascara. I have the Canmake Quick Lash Curler Long Mascara, which is supposed to be really good for short Asian lashes. Usually you would go in and curl your lashes before this step, but I usually skip that step because I feel like I'm always pulling out a lot of eyelashes when I do it somehow. And I feel like I'm not pulling on it, but I just skip it because I'd rather not tear out all of my eyelashes. I'm going to try to do the lower lashes and not to stain anything on my face. And it's really good to do all of these steps after you use your setting sprays so that you don't have the mascara running down. So next we're going in with the lashes. And so I believe that she just used a really nice set of natural looking kiss lashes, but I've liked using the Velour Vegan Luxe lashes. Over here I have Sassy but Classy. And I'm just going to use a Kiss lash glue. I'm just going to put a really generous amount on there, really focusing on the ends because we don't want those to come off. And wait for it to become tacky. And so what we're going to do is try as best as we can to place them closely to the lashes without actually getting them on the lashes. But it's okay if it's not super close because I'm just going to take an eyeliner and fill in the spots later. And I find that these lashes are really different than any other ones that I've tried. I think that they feel the softest, they look the most natural. And what I try to do is I try to lift the edges of the lash and place them a little higher up again to try to get that lift effect. Also something that I saw on TikTok. You want to really make sure that the ends are stuck on there. And again, I'm just going to take the same eyeliner pencil and just draw in everywhere where I see spaces. So the last thing that we're going to be working on is the lips. We're almost done. And so again, for this part, I did not get the name of the lip liner that she used or the lipstick on me. So you should use a lip liner, but I'm just going in with the, I don't know how to pronounce this. I assume it's Romand, the Glassy Balm Tint in the shade Nudie Nude. And so this is the completed makeup look. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!